Ever wondered what it really means to own something in the world of finance? Most people assume ownership is simple, but the reality might surprise you. By the end of this video, you'll see your house, your car, and even your stock investments in a completely new light. Ownership is a term we hear almost every day, especially in finance. But here's the big question. Do we actually understand it? When you purchase a home, buy a car, or invest in a company's shares, what are you truly getting? Is it just a title deed, a piece of paper, or a digital certificate? Or does ownership go much deeper than that? The truth is, ownership is the foundation of our financial system. It gives you the right to control an asset, make decisions about it, and enjoy the benefits it produces, whether that's a home to live in, rent income, or investment returns. But despite its importance, many people have only a vague idea of what ownership really means. And here's the problem. A lack of understanding can cost you money, can lead to confusion, misinformed decisions, and even financial losses. So today, let's slow things down and uncover the real meaning of ownership in finance. One of the most common misconceptions is that ownership, possession, and control are the same thing. But they're not. Let's break it down with a simple example. Suppose your friend lends you their car. You have possession because the car is physically with you, and you can drive it around. But you don't own it, can't sell it, rent it, or change the paint color without the owner's permission. Similarly, a company manager might have control over millions of dollars worth of assets, making big financial decisions every day. But does that make them the owner? Absolutely not. The owners are the shareholders who invested their money in the company. This distinction between possession, control, and ownership can have serious financial consequences. For instance, during the 2008 financial crisis, many investors believed they fully owned certain assets like mortgage-backed securities when in reality, the legal and economic ownership was tied up in complex agreements. When the market collapsed, those who misunderstood ownership structures faced massive losses because they didn't realize who was actually carrying the risk. Another myth about ownership is that it's always absolute. You either own something or you don't. In reality, there are different levels and types of ownership. You might own something outright, meaning you have full rights and responsibilities. Or you might have joint ownership, like when two people co-own a business or a property. In such cases, each person's decisions and rights depend on their ownership share. These nuances matter because they affect how profits are divided, how decisions are made, and even what happens if disputes arise. Consider a simple example. Two friends buy a rental property together. One puts in 70% of the money, the other puts in 30%. If they don't clearly define their ownership shares and responsibilities, disagreements can quickly arise about how rental income is split, who pays for repairs, or whether to sell the property later. Understanding ownership structures up front can prevent costly conflicts down the road. Now let's talk about the three major forms of ownership you must know. Legal ownership refers to the person or entity whose name is officially on the document, such as a house deed or stock certificate. They are recognized by law as the owner. Beneficial ownership refers to the person who ultimately enjoys the benefits, like income or dividends, even if they're not legally listed as the owner. Economic ownership goes one step further. It's the person who bears the risks and rewards of owning an asset. For example, if a property value falls, the economic owner is the one who loses money, even if someone else is on the title deed. Each of these ownership types plays a big role in financial planning, especially when it comes to taxes, inheritance, and investment strategies. So why should you care about all this? Because ownership determines who has the power, the profit, and the risk. When you clearly understand what you own, you make smarter investments. You know how to protect your assets legally, structure deals better, and avoid costly mistakes. Imagine two people buying rental properties. One understands ownership laws and sets up a legal structure to protect themselves from liability. The other just buys the property without thinking about ownership details. Guess who faces fewer problems when something goes wrong? There's also the issue of ownership in the digital world. With cryptocurrencies, NFTs, and online assets becoming more common, the definition of ownership is evolving. Do you truly own a digital asset if it exists only on a blockchain? Legally? Maybe not yet in many countries. It's economically? Yes, because you bear the risk and reward. This is why understanding ownership is more important now than ever before. Here's the most important lesson. Clarity about ownership equals control over your financial future. When you know exactly what you own and the responsibilities and risks that come with it, you can align your assets with your long-term goals. You can build wealth safely and confidently, instead of leaving things to chance. Ownership isn't just a piece of paper or a legal title. It's about rights, responsibilities, and understanding how to protect what's yours. To wrap up, ownership is a complex, multi-layered concept that touches every part of our financial lives, whether it's your home, your investments, or your business. Knowing the difference between possession, control, and true ownership can help you make smarter financial choices. If you found this helpful, share your thoughts in the comments, ask your questions, and Dan, well, if you'd forget to check out my next video, where we dive into another key financial topic that could save you time, money, and stress.